Hey there, it's Jerome Stone again. Welcome to another installment from Minding the Bedside Meditation Resources for Everyone. This is my support for you to support you in your meditation practice. So the title of today's video is The Need for a Formal Practice and What's Up with the Band-Aid. When we say formal practice, and I've written about this on the blog, and if you look below in your email, you'll see that I'm going to put some links there about this subject, is I've written how it's important to take our meditation practice, to take your meditation practice out into your life. That's what the book that I wrote is about, Minding the Bedside. It's for nurses and other healthcare professionals, and actually anyone, to use in their daily lives, in how they carry out their work. However, before you get to the point where you can take meditation into your work, into child rearing, into bicycling, into cooking, shopping, whatever you're wanting to do, you need to actually have the stability of a meditation practice. And to get the stability requires some formal practice. Now, first of all, there's a lot of people who think that formal practice means that you have to sit for hours on end. Well, that's not the case. Some people also think that formal practice means that you have to sit with your eyes closed, chanting some mantra or lighting incense or trying to push thoughts out of your head. Again, this has been discussed in the blog, discussed a little bit in the video series. Meditation isn't about trying to push anything out of your mind. It's impossible. You can't push thoughts out of your mind. It's the nature of your mind to create thoughts. What you do is you learn to work with whatever goes on. And the best way to learn to work with that, the best way to gain stability in your mind is through a formal practice. When I say formal practice, what I'm talking about is taking a certain amount of time every day, if you can, every day, and committing to that time where you're just going to practice meditation. Now, this time doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be huge. And a lot of people also have the idea or belief that it has to be a lot of time. If you get used to practicing 5 or 10 minutes a day, or maybe a couple times, 5 minutes in the morning, maybe 5 minutes in the evening, maybe 10 minutes on your lunch break, and you do it regularly enough, what you'll find is that eventually meditation becomes more of a natural process. And that's really what you're wanting to get, right? You're wanting to get to the point where you can take your meditative awareness, you can take mindfulness, you can take compassion, you can take presence in the moment-to-moment daily life that you have and be there, right? Show up for your life. But to do that, you have to have a formal practice. Now, to have a formal practice, what you do is you work with your method of meditation, and there's lots of descriptions on how to meditate on the blog, Minding the Bedside, and in the ebooks that I have there for you for free, as well as also in my book. But most important is to take those methods and work with them. I can't stress this enough, so I'm stressing it too many times. So to do a formal practice, you set the time aside, quiet place, turn your cell phone off, turn telephones off, don't sit in front of the television, or don't try to do it at the dinner table, but take some time for yourself. Now, a great way to do that is the very first thing when you wake up in the morning, very first, before you even get up to go to the bathroom or do anything, is just sit up in bed. That's a great time for a couple reasons. First of all, you're just freshly out of your sleep state. Hopefully you've had a good night's rest, and your mind can be open to a meditation practice, so that can be a very good way to do it. Also, before you're going to sleep, if you've got a lot of things going on, if your day has been really busy, you also may want to take 5 or 10 minutes to settle down, to settle your mind and go into a restful sleep. Now, again, when you think about formal practice, if you take 5 or 10 minutes in the morning, 5 or 10 minutes before you go to sleep, that's already 10 to 20 minutes a day that you're practicing meditation. And then if you take a little lunch break, or you take a little walk, or do something throughout the day at work, just take that small amount of time, or if you don't have work, take a small amount of time during the day. You'll begin to stabilize your mind. You'll begin to get used to the meditation process. Now, the magic of this, and I have to stress this, and it's really important you get this, is once you become familiar enough with how to meditate and stabilizing your mind, you'll be able to do it in so many circumstances. I use bike riding. I love riding bikes. I use my bike rides as a chance to practice meditation. And sometimes if I go out on a 1 or 2 hour bike ride, that means that I've got 1 or 2 hours to practice my meditative awareness, to practice my mindfulness, and to practice being spacious with my mind. It's a wonderful experience. So it's really, really worth it to take that time out to practice, formally practice. How do you practice? Well, we won't go into it all here because there will be other videos, there have been and there will be future videos on how to practice meditation. In fact, the next video in this series will be on how to practice a basic 5-minute meditation. But let me just start here by saying, first of all, again, you get away from all the distractions, turning off the phone, getting away from family, and just taking time for yourself. Then you sit. Now sitting, you can sit on a couch, you can sit on a floor, you can sit in a chair, whatever is comfortable for you. You don't have to cross your legs. Some people have a real belief that you have to cross your legs. But what's most important, what's very important, is that you don't close your eyes. In the form of meditation that I practice, and in the form of meditation that we want to learn for our day-to-day lives, we want to have our eyes open, right? Why? Because we want to engage in our daily life. When we close our eyes, there's a couple possibilities. First of all, we may not often go to sleep. Second of all, it's like we're trying to tune out the world. This is not about tuning out the world. Meditation isn't about tuning out the world. Meditation is about taking the world in and being able to be present with it in your mind. So what you'll do is you'll sit, you'll take a time to sit. And then what you do is simply, and I know this sounds hard, we're going to continue to cover this, you simply allow your mind to rest. So whatever comes up in your mind, if it's thoughts, if it's ideas, things about that you have to do later in the day, you don't chase after them. You simply be with whatever is at the moment. Now, what does that look like? Well, for instance, right now, as I'm talking with you, I'm actually practicing meditation. How can that be? Well, meditation is a state of non-distraction. Non-distraction means that we aren't, as a thought arises, we aren't running off and following after that thought. That's how we practice. Mindfulness is attending to the present moment. Right now I know I'm looking into this camera, I'm talking to you. I don't know who you are, who may be watching this right now, but I'm present. Even with this camera, sounds a little strange, but I'm simply being here. I'm not following a script. I'm not going by any ideas I had in terms of what I was going to say to you. I'm simply meditating in the moment. Now, a thought may arise in your mind. You don't run after and you don't grab it. You just stay present with the present moment. And when you notice that your mind has run off, you bring your attention back to the present moment. And that's called awareness. Now, again, check out the links in the email because I talk about awareness, mindfulness, and how you use these with spaciousness, with an openness to whatever goes on. So as you get into your formal practice, use the resources I have. Begin now. Commit to your practice, and I'll see you next time. Oops! Hold on a second. Don't go quite yet. I forgot one thing. Remember the title of this video was The Necessity of a Formal Practice, and what's up with the Band-Aid? Well, here's the Band-Aid. This is a lesson in mindfulness, or the lack of it. This morning when I was going over what I wanted to put into this video, I had a little piece of skin hanging off of my finger, and mindlessly, without thinking about it, as I was practicing and as I was thinking it through, I tugged at that skin and ow! I hurt myself. Yet another reason why mindfulness and meditation can help you. No more bloody fingers. Enjoy.